Welcome to Protect Your Children Now with your host, Christopher Gelson with Protect Your Children Incorporated. We're glad you are here. We're having a little bit of glitchy stuff going on tonight. Internet's a little bit weird, but we're going to push through because this is a very important broadcast, very important show. It's hard to do shows like this, right? Because you have to raise awareness. But at the same time, you get so angry and you get so upset that you're like, you just want to go out there and do something, And what we're doing on our part is these live shows. We're posting daily on social media, on Facebook, Rumble, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're all over the place. And we're trying to raise awareness to help keep kids safe. And we ask you to do the same. We have seen in the last week, since last week's show, we've gained about 50 followers in the Facebook group. We've gained about 25 more followers on the business page. Our YouTube subscribers are going up. So we're thankful for that. It's still very small, right? We're talking 300, right? But we're thankful for the fact that what we're producing is getting out there and it's raising more and more awareness, because that's going to help keep kids safer by educating parents and educating the kids, so that they know what traps not to fall into, right? That's the goal. So we're thankful that you're here. Got about, I got about 5 people watching on YouTube right now, a whole bunch on Twitter. If you are on Twitter, you can comment, and we're supposed to be able to see them here on my dashboard. Yes, that's like a new feature they included in the streaming software. So if you're on Twitter, you want to say something, that's it. Comment away, and hopefully we'll see it right here in the chat. All right. Thank you for that. So tonight we're going to look into this national organization, which, you got to try to keep political stuff out, which we try to do. We're not a political organization, right? Of course, we all have our own beliefs when it comes to religion and politics and everything. But as an organization, we're interested in protecting all children, right? Whether they're LGBT, straight, black, white, it doesn't matter. We want to protect all kids, right? And if there's an organization out there, be it right wing, left wing, whatever, if they're hurting kids, we're going to expose them. That's it, because the goal is to protect children from predators, from abuse, from trafficking. That's what we do, and we will expose whoever we got to on both sides of the aisle in order to do that. That's the bottom line. We don't take a stand on, it looks like you're supporting this congressman or this senator more because they're Republican or they're Democrat. Nothing to do with that. Whoever's standing up to protect children, that's the ones we support. If you're a political person and you're not standing up to protect kids, we're going to expose you and we're going to be against you. Bottom line. That's kind of how it's going to roll. So anyway, we're going to look at that organization tonight. Also, these companies don't seem to get the point, right? Whether it's, whether it was, remember Balenciaga, right? Remember them and that whole nasty crap that they were doing? They got dragged through the mud for what they did with their sleazy looking pedophile commercial, which was great. Glad that they did. The public showed them where they can go with that kind of crap. There's another company now, right? H&M, which now H&M's had a little history of making some kind of sketchy stuff, pushing the boundaries. But in this latest ad that they did, is it any more clear what these people's purpose is? Right? To get you to look at kids in a sexual way. Oh, gotta be careful. YouTube will censor me like they did about a month ago. But that's their goal, right? To get you looking at kids in a way that doesn't respect them, doesn't uphold the law. That's what their goal is. And it's disgusting. So we're going to bring you this little commercial, this ad that H&M did. And you're just going to be blown away by it. It's like, you got to be kidding me. It's not even hidden anymore, right? Like last week's show, if you missed it, you can find it on the podcast of it. Last week's show, we were talking about NAMBLA, the North American Boy Love Association, okay? And the fact that everybody thought they were dead. Oh, well, the police infiltrated them and they arrested all these people and NAMBLA went away. They went bye-bye. See you later. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They actually moved their whole coordinated conspiracy to commit pedophilia online. That's what they did. They moved online right at the time around 1995 when the internet was getting huge, right? When there was like 1 billion web pages, and that's where they went. They went online because they knew they could find kids online. And that's where they continue their grooming. That's where they continue their abuse. And we're still seeing it every single freaking day. Every day on Instagram, every day on TikTok, every day on social media, there's some kind of scummy people that are commenting on kids' profiles that's something inappropriate, trying to gauge a response from that child, trying to trap them. There's your NAMBLAs right there. So this stuff doesn't go away. But, they at least they used to try to hide what they were doing, right? Now it's like you're right out in the open. Oh, let's just show people what we're all about. Let's just make a commercial that basically says, hey, look at these girls. Turn your heads. Like, what? What are you doing? But they're just putting it right out there now. Let's just see who's going to respond and who's going to react. Let's gauge the temperature of the public. Are they ready for this yet? And that's what they want to see. And it's disgusting. So we got the H&M ad coming up. We got this national organization going to bring you a powerful video that was done by Project Veritas. And again, here we go. Oh, Project Veritas. We don't care if they're right or left. The reality is Project Veritas is exposing people that are hurting children. They're exposing people that are going against parental rights, and they're doing stuff that is very sketchy, that is putting kids' lives in danger. Therefore, we applaud them for that. We're going to bring in this video they did, and it comes to Planned Parenthood and what they're doing. The fact that Planned Parenthood is trafficking kids to other states to get abortions without parental consent. Without parental consent. Oh, they said we can keep it quiet. Wait till you see this video. It's going to make your head want to explode. So we got that coming up. We also got a good hero segment coming up here in a minute. But first, you know what we got to do? Got to plug the website. Yes, here's the website right here, protectyourchildren.org. We've also seen about 170 hits on the website in the last week, so that has actually gone up as well too. So we're very thankful for that. People are clicking on the in-depth protection packet, which is right there. They're clicking on preventing kidnapping. They're clicking on all these different links that we have here, child protection teaching videos, how to protect your kids online, all our live shows, our podcast right here on the website. People are doing zip code predator searches. You can go to there, you can click on your state, put your zip code in, and you can find all the arrested predators that are living around you or that are near your child's school or along the path of where your child walks or around your child's friend's house. There might be a predator living right down the road, right? So people are doing that. They're learning how to set up parental controls right here on this link right here. So they're doing a lot of great education and awareness that they're spreading to other people. And we're very thankful for that. Absolutely. Now, one other thing that we noticed is, check this out. People have been buying our merch. We've had a couple of sales this past week. And again, we make $1 or $2 on each product. We're going to be just straight up transparent with you, $1 or $2. Okay, very small thing. And that money goes obviously right back into the organization. We pay for live streaming. We pay for the website. We pay for advertising. We pay for a lot of stuff, right? And none of us here take a salary, by the way. This is all volunteer. This organization is run by volunteers. Nobody's taking a salary. But it does cost us money to keep everything running. And when you buy a product, not only are you advertising the website and the education and the awareness that we provide, but you're also helping to contribute a little bit to the cost of continuing to do what we do. So if you look here, we've got women's shirts, men's shirts, we got hats, everything's got our logo on it. We've got all sorts of stuff, tote bags, coffee mugs, and we got tumblers, we got decals right here, this Protect Your Children decal, right? We got bumper magnets, we got hoodies, we got all sorts of great quality stuff. And you can visit there by going to our website, protectyourchildren.org. and clicking on the link. How about that? Pretty cool. All right. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's see who's going on the chat here. Hello, Marie. How you doing? Say hi to Marie. What's up, Marie? Good to see you. Glad you were here. And it looks like we got, let's see, a couple other people on YouTube, one person from Facebook, someone from Twitter. Hey, say hi out there. Say hi out there in Twitter land. We'd like to see if we can actually see these comments. That'd be really cool if we can, because they said there was an update. And we want to be able to see your Twitter feedback, definitely. Or your X, as they call it, right? X. And again, I apologize. We do have a little bit of technical issues tonight. You'll see a little glitchiness on the screen. Might be internet, could be lighting. Who knows what's going on with that. But in any case, we press on. All right, let's jump right into this hero segment tonight. How awesome is this, right? You're going to love this, okay? We love hero kids, man. Hero kids are kids that are selfless, kids that see danger, see a problem, see a need, and they step up at whatever cost it is to themselves, and they go out there and they make a difference, they make an impact, and they help others. That's a hero to us. Whether it's helping one person or it's rescuing 5 from a burning house, which we saw a while back, or it's going to be this one right here that we're about to show you. Hero kids deserve to be recognized, and we're very thankful for them. And that's why we bring you the Hero Kid segment every week. And of course, our protection work is about protecting kids from abuse, from kidnapping, from trafficking, so that they can go on to do the great things that they're called to do in their life, right? Because, you know, abuse and trafficking and kidnapping throw their whole life into a tizzy, flip it upside down, ruin the course that they're on. We want to protect them from those things, and we want them to be able to fulfill the good deeds that they want to do and are called to do in their life. And that's why we bring you the Hero Kid segment. So let's go ahead and check this out. About 2 minutes. Pretty powerful.
A Clearwater High School senior has a fresh dent in her car bumper and a refreshing story to go with it. Olivia Jones was in the right place at the right time.
She helped save a woman's life by steering into trouble. 10 News reporter Bobby Lewis is on the road in Clearwater with a courageous teenager who was ready to save a life.
This is a really fancy car, right?
No, not at all.
Even clunkers have character.
A Nissan Altima 2003.
Character is a good description for the teenager who drives this one.
You're really a good driver, right?
Yes, I'm a good driver. I haven't got any accidents that were my fault.
Many cars in the Clearwater High parking lot have dents, but Olivia Jones's dent is one of the freshest.
Were you scared?
Oh yeah, my legs were shaking. I didn't know. I don't know. I was really nervous.
Just 2 days before Christmas, Olivia pulled up to a stoplight at just the right time.
I thought she was texting because she was looking down, straight down, and then she started seizing, and I was like, oh shoot, she's having a seizure. I opened my door first and told people behind me that she was having a seizure, but nobody seemed to care or wanted to help, so I pulled in front of her and I let her roll into the back of my car. Then I got out, opened her door, put her car in park, took her seatbelt off, and she had like blood and she had peed herself, and she was like kind of seizing out of the car, so I just like helped her onto the floor as I was on the phone with 911.
She just jumped right in. It was amazing. It was amazing. So we're so proud of her.
Clearwater High staff can't believe what she did for a total stranger. Neither can Olivia's friends.
Oh, they think I'm dumb for doing it, but I don't know. I don't really take mind to it. I don't think it's dumb.
The student who someday hopes to be a doctor got a crash course in saving lives thanks to the car crash that changed hers.
And I always talk to them about how I wanted to be in the medical field and how I want to save people. And then when I tell them that, they're like, no, you just got started. That's your like first step.
Yeah, she really did get started.
She did. That's her calling. My goodness, what she did.
Thankfully, she knew what to do and had the thought not to just ignore it and drive away.
And even being afraid, she still was able to go through the motions and get it right.
She's going to be a good doctor. Yeah. Olivia hasn't heard from the driver of the other car. She says she doesn't even need to hear from her. Knowing that she did the right thing is good enough for her.
Can we give her some love? Give her some love, right? How cool is that, man? She's like, I'm going to use my car. I want to get in front of this lady's car, so her car hits my car. Wasn't worried about how the car was going to look. Wasn't worried about the damage. wasn't even worried about if she'd get hurt. She was just going to stop that lady's car so she can get over there and help that lady out. And that is absolutely beautiful. That's inspiring. And I'll tell you, she's going to be a great doctor. She's going to be a fantastic doctor because she has the heart to help people at whatever cost it is to herself. She has the heart to help people. And we're just so proud. We're just so proud to see teenagers that are stepping out and doing good in the world and not just falling into this trap of following everybody along, doing everything that everybody else is doing, no matter where it leads them. Usually it's not productive at all, right? Staring at phones the whole time, just getting lost. Now, she was looking out and she saw the lady needed help. She stepped up and she helped her out. And we're just so thankful to have people like that. So if somebody can check in the chat, let me know how the sound is. Make sure our sound is good. Not many people talking in the chat right now, but there's a bunch of people watching. So just let me know if the sound is okay. Appreciate that. All right, let's get into, oh my gosh, H&M. H&M brand. Yeah, this was their slick idea, okay, for an ad campaign. And again, just like Balenciaga, right? You have to ask yourself, how many people did this go through? How many people approved this and said, yeah, this is good. This is a great idea. No, this isn't creepy at all. This isn't sexualizing children. Nope, no, it's not. This is good. Just let's go ahead and put it out there. Remember Balenciaga showing the little girl laying there and there was beer at her feet and they're dressed in black bondage? It just horrific. But think about all the people that had to create it, approve it, to get that thing put out to the public. It gives you an idea of where some of these corporate heads, where they are, what they're thinking, right? And it's sick. And it's absolutely sick. But they view kids as objects. They view kids as a way to make money instead of viewing kids as the precious gifts that they are. And H&M, yeah, they're no different. H&M, no, they're no different. Check this ad out.
Fashion giant H&M has come under fire. The brand is facing criticism from all quarters, and I'm quoting here, sexualizing young school girls in their ad campaign. H&M has withdrawn an ad campaign that went live in Australia. Well, the ad featured a slogan that read, and I'm quoting here, make those head turns in H and M's back to school fashion, unquote. This caption was featured atop a photo of two schoolgirls wearing the brand's dresses. Well, many internet users reacted strongly against the commercial. Some called out the brand for sexualizing young schoolgirls. It was taken down after huge outrage on social media. A spokesperson for the company issued a statement regarding the controversy. It said, and I'm quoting again, we have removed this ad. We are deeply sorry for this offense this has caused, and we are looking into how we put forth campaigns going forward, unquote.
Yeah, sure you are. Again, somebody had to approve that. So you got young schoolgirls with these dresses on. They're above the knee. They got that sultruous look as they're looking over their shoulder. And the ad says, make those heads turn. What? So, yeah, and everybody knows what that, right? Make it, head turning, right? Beautiful woman over there. Make my head turn, right? And they're using that to describe these young girls. Make those heads turn with them looking over their shoulder, posing. You see what they're doing? Like, just, they got to put it out there. Remember the 4-step predator plan, which, by the way, saw this week that the 4-step predator plan, we put it out on Instagram Reels about 2 weeks ago. And we got notification that it had over 2,000 plays. So 2,000 people had viewed it. And the 4-step predator plan is what? To desensitize, demoralize, hypersexualize, and then attack. That's the plan. So you got to get the public desensitized. You got to get them demoralized so that what they see is like, no big deal. So they're okay with it. And then they allow their kids to be put in positions where they can be hypersexualized and where the predators can attack them. That's the plan. 4-step plan. And unfortunately, it's working pretty darn good because the kids are hypersexualized today. They're bombarded with free porn, sexual lyrics, sex in movies, sex in music. It's everywhere. They're being hypersexualized. And then we find out the kids are being abused in these different settings, churches and schools and after school programs and different places. And sometimes it goes on for 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And then it finally comes to light. And you say, how did this even happen? How did we even get to this point? Because they were groomed. They were hypersexualized. They were abused. Demoralized, desensitized, hypersexualized, and then attack. And commercials like that, and the one from Balenciaga and so many others, are meant to portray kids as sex objects, not as the precious, pure, innocent gifts that they are. And then they come back, well, sorry about that. Yeah, we're going to look more carefully about, how we put ads going on for it. Yeah, sure. You looked at that and a whole bunch of people thought that was okay. Make your heads turn, make a sexual innuendo comment about little girls, and people thought that was all right? Shame on you, H&M. Are you kidding me right now? It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It's unbelievable. And protectyourchildren.org is the website, protectyourchildren.org or protectfrompredators.org. Tons of great resources, free education, awareness, background checks, zip code predator searches, parental controls for all your devices, step-by-step, tons of great resources, education, and awareness at protectyourchildren.org. Bookmark it. Go there often. Get your kids educated. And the in-depth protection guidelines that are on the website are not these one-liners, okay? I always say, it's not your grandma's one-liners, right? It's not grandpa's little hey, and that's it. No, these are in-depth protection guidelines. Explains what predators do, how they do it, and how kids can fall into it. You go over those guidelines with your kids, and guess what? They're going to be aware. They're going to be educated. They're going to be able to know what traps are out there, and they'll be more careful not to fall into them, thus you protecting your children. So protectyourchildren.org, in-depth protection packet is there for you to peruse and read carefully and teach your children. All right, protectyourchildren.org. We also want to encourage you to share this. Even right now, people that are watching, you can share this live stream. You can share this live stream. Just click and you can share the live stream right now. Maybe get a few more people jumping in. Definitely. Please do that. Please do that. Share, share, share. That's the way the information gets out there. And, by the way, TikTok. So you guys know that whenever we see a child's reel come up on Instagram or TikTok or something, we look at the comments section on purpose, right, to see if there's anything creepy going on. And usually there is, right? And then we post screenshots on our social media, right? And it's like, this is the kind of pervs that are out there just preying on kids. And we asked this past week about one of them that we posted, parents, do you have a clue? Do you have a clue what your kids are doing? Do you realize that they're filming themselves in front of mirrors, acting all sexual for the public, and that there's predators commenting on their stuff? In some cases, the kids are replying to the predators, saying thank you for a comment that was clearly sexual. Like, parents, do you have a clue what's going on? Are you paying attention? Time to wake up. Your kids are going to be victimized. Well, TikTok, we posted the same thing on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. And would you know, TikTok blocked it. They took it down and said we violated the community standards. We have violated the community standards by pointing out a predator going after a child. Yet you got kids that are clearly not old enough to be on that site, on that app, doing stuff inappropriate, that's not a violation. But God forbid we post something that says, hey, kids, look out. This is the kind of people that you don't want to communicate with. Yep. Community standard violation. We had to remove it. We had to take it down. Right. And, today, there was a Senate hearing with all the heads, well, most of the heads, I think 5 of them, of the top social media companies. Discord was there. Twitter was there, or X. Meta was there with Zuckerberg, right? The head of TikTok was there. And they were being grilled about the child abuse that is going on their apps. And what are they doing about it? We plan to bring you that next week after we get a chance to sit through the whole thing and break it down. We're going to bring that to you next week. But just from what we saw today, it was like, the companies are trying to do some things. But it always came back down to one thing: parental responsibility. The tech companies have more that they can do, absolutely. But you know what? If the parents are going to let their kids have unfettered access to the internet, to social media, at any time that they want, and anywhere they want, then you have to believe as a parent your kids are going to get exposed to predators. You want the tech companies to come in and fix the problem. But parents, it starts with you. It starts with you. You got the responsibility to protect your children. Hence the name of the organization, protectyourchildren.org. So yeah, we want the tech companies to do more. But parents, we'd like for you to step up too and stop allowing half the stuff that you're allowing. You're letting your kids be in harm's way. I'm sure you're not doing it on purpose, but it's time to wake up and realize, hey, wait a second. Am I exposing my kids to predators? Yeah, you are. That's why parental controls are so important. You got to keep your kids safe. All right, let's jump into this. I'm going to show you this trafficking video. This is a short story that's going to lead into our main story, Planned Parenthood, setting up for 13-year-old girls to be taken across state lines to get abortions without parents' permission. Yeah, and they're facing potential criminal charges too. We're going to get into that after this trafficking video I want to show you here. This story, it's about 3 minutes long, very powerful, very touching, of a girl that fell into a trap from a trafficker who, of course, she thought was a boyfriend. See, because they always start out looking pretty decent, right? They always say the devil doesn't show up with a pitchfork and horns. No, it usually comes as something that you wouldn't be afraid of. Predators are the same way. Most of them, well, I don't know what we're seeing online now. They're just coming straight up. They're just straight on out. Just, there you go. Oil up. I'll be there in 5 minutes, boy. What? What? Right? But generally, these predators that are in the community, they don't start out looking like bad people. But they are. And when their true colors show, a lot of times it's too late. Which is what happened with this poor girl here. Thank God she got away. But listen to her story and let it be a reminder of how important it is to know where your kids are at, to know who your kids are talking to know their state of mind, to have an open communication with your children at all times, no matter what. Because if you don't, something like this can happen.
Well, Christine, this is an amazing story of survival and one that allows us to see just how easily a young girl can become a victim of human trafficking.
Immediately when I got in the car, I knew something was off.
Simone Miller was only 16 when she was kidnapped and trafficked by a man she had just met.
He was just like, I'm a pimp and you're my hoe. And I'm going to take you somewhere. You're going to be given instructions on what to do, and running is not an option.
She was taken to a hotel where other women were being held. Simone says the man who told her he was a rapper when she first met him warned her if she tried to escape, he would kill her mother and her grandmother.
If anybody knows me, like, that's like my weakness. You know, because like my family is all I have.
As days went by, Simone was desperate to get out of this situation.
What can I do? And I like played along. And I had him thinking like I'm okay with it. You know, I put on this red lingerie.
The pimp let his guard down, and when he took a shower and left his cell phone on the bed, Simone made a quick phone call to her mother.
And I said, Mom. And she said, baby, where are you? And I said, I don't know. I don't know where I'm at, Mom. She just said, tell me what you see, Simone. I said, I'm like looking out the window of this hotel. I said, I see like a 7-Eleven. She's like, okay, what else do you see? I said, I don't know, a Church's chicken. She's like, okay.
Somehow, with that brief description, her entire family hit different locations, searching for Simone until they found her outside of a 7-Eleven. Her captor was inside buying cigarettes, unaware his victim was about to be rescued.
All I could think was when this man gets out of the 7-Eleven, it's gonna be trouble.
Despite everything he put her through, Simone protected him, telling her family he wasn't the man who kidnapped her.
I still know that it wasn't right what he did, but I got in the car with him, you know what I mean? And I just didn't want them to kill him in front of me. And I kept saying, no, that's not him, that's not him.
It's been many years since that horrific experience. Simone is now a crisis interventionist at Teen Project, a nonprofit that helps survivors of human trafficking.
It's healing. Subconsciously, I'm healing by helping.
Such a strong young woman. Now, you may be wondering what happened to the man who took Simone. Well, her family let him go the night that she was rescued. He was later killed in an unrelated incident. Alex, Christine, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
The Teen Project does amazing work, Gina. Thank you so much.
You know what's amazing about that? Her family is the most important thing to her. And when the predator let his guard down, she was able to make a call. And with just that little bit of information, all of her family started spreading out, going everywhere to look for her until they found her. That's a bond right there. Right? And then people call it karma if you're Buddhist or whatever, or Hindu. Bible calls it reaping what you sow. But guess what? That scumbag predator trafficker ended up dying in an unrelated situation. Yeah, you get what you get for what you do. And this girl is so darn brave. Not only did she come out of that situation, now she works with a nonprofit and she's out there helping girls to be safe. She's turned her tragedy and her trauma into something where she can make an impact and make a difference and help other girls. And we're so proud of her, and you should be too. But it is absolutely horrifying. And you know, she met this guy online. He says he was a rapper, seemed like a decent guy. And it's all good until she gets in the vehicle with him. And he says, guess what? You're my hoe. Yeah, and I'm your pimp, and guess what? Don't try to run or I'll kill your family. My God. It's horrifying. And thank God her family actually came and went and looked for her and found her. But it just goes to show you that you have to be monitoring everything these days. You have to be nosy. You've got to be monitoring who your kids are talking to, who they're following, who's following them on social media. Parents, you can learn a lot from that. When we see these pervs on Instagram and they're making these comments on these kids' videos, you click on that perv's profile and you will see that he's following 200 and something people, or she. No post usually. And you look at who they're following and the majority of it's kids. If that's not a red flag, then what is? And parents, you have to know who's following your kids. There's a boy on Instagram. His reel always pops up in Protected Children's feed. It's kind of crazy. And we've warned him a couple of different times just by commenting about some of the people that are commenting. And he started getting so excited because he was getting 2,000, 3,000 followers, right? He thinks he's getting famous. The kid's like 13, right? And then he did a video earlier, and he was so upset because he realized that he started to talk to somebody who had commented and realized that, well, he thought they were just a bot, like a fake bot. But what's happening is a lot of predators are following these kids. And they're just waiting for that child to slip up, say where they live, say something personal about them, or get them to communicate with them. That's what they do. And it's crazy. Tracy says there's nothing that can beat a strong family. It's absolutely true. It's absolutely correct. And the problem is there are a lot of broken families today. A lot of kids don't have that solid relationship with their family. And that just compounds the problem. Because then who can they turn to? Where do they go when there's trouble? If they feel like they can't go to their own family. And if there's problems with their family and it's reciprocal, right, then their family's probably not watching them too carefully, not really paying too much attention to what they're doing. Predators can pick up on that. They know if a child's not being taken care of. They know if a child's parents aren't paying attention to them. They can pick up on that stuff just from watching Instagram Reels or TikTok videos or YouTube channels, right? Predators can pick up on that stuff. And they will just wait for the opportunity to reel that child in. But being educated and being aware and having your kids be aware of the traps, then hopefully they won't fall into them. Yeah, Marie said they actually send links of toddlers and infants being abused. Yeah, horrific down in Texas. But, like I said, we can come on here every week and we can post all during the week on social media about all these horrendous things that are happening. But if people just watch it and they go on with their lives, all you're doing is saddening yourself, right? The more we see this stuff happening, the more it enrages us and makes us want to do more to protect kids. It makes us want to do more. And that's where we need your help, because we are limited in what we can do. We're not just talking about finances. That's a part of it. But we're talking about liking, sharing, retweeting, subscribing, not just once, but throughout the week. Let it come to your mind. Oh, hey, let me just go visit Protect Your Children's page and copy the link and send it out. Send it out a couple of different times. Send it out 3 or 4 times. Then you're doing your part. That's how we make a difference. And donations as well. We talked about this a while back. Advertising on social media is not that expensive. But when you do, the reward is great. We gave an example. This was back 6-7 months ago. We showed you the numbers. We spend $100 for a 5 or a 7 day ad, and a video or a post that we do reaches 30 to 40,000 people. Yeah, 30 to 40,000. Without that money, maybe 10, maybe 15, maybe 20 people. At a good post, maybe 50. There's a difference. Is it screwed up? Yes. That Meta and everybody else, they charge money? Sure. But listen, that's their business. That's capitalism, right? They're going to say, hey, we'll push this out for you and you pay us money. All right. As far as we're concerned, it's worth it. But like I said, none of us take a salary. We're all volunteer, right? So we rely on donations to be able to make those ads and put that out there and reach 30 or 40,000 people. That's the difference it can make. Just think about that. Say we lower it down and we get 25,000 views in a week promoting something, right? Say we lower it down to 25. That means $400 a month. We're reaching potentially 100,000 people for $400 a month. 100,000. a far cry from what we're reaching right now. So donations are a part of it. But liking, sharing, retweeting, talking to people, encourage them to subscribe and to tune into the live shows, that's all part of it too. Absolutely. Yeah, Marie T said Ped Patrol. They have a great YouTube channel. But I'll tell you, you'll be enraged when you see some of these. Yeah. All right, let's jump into our story here. This is just insane. This is absolutely insane. So Planned Parenthood. Let me just tell you something. Planned Parenthood went undercover not Planned Parenthood, but Project Veritas went undercover, Planned Parenthood, right? And they caught Planned Parenthood actually talking about trafficking children, getting children to another state to get an abortion, and said, hey, you know what? We don't have to let the parents know. And we're talking about a 13-year-old here. 13-year-old. So Project Veritas, they do some good work. And this is actually James O'Keefe's thing. I think it's called OMG, the O'Keefe Media Group. So I'll give them credit where credit's due. And watch this video. This is just going to blow your mind. This is how crazy it is. You think parents didn't have any rights based upon watching this stuff. And you know what's going to blow your mind? Look how many times Planned Parenthood says the 13-year-old, as far as we're concerned, is an adult. If they want to make a decision to go out of state, cross state lines, don't want their parents to know, that's okay because they're an adult. No, they're not. They're 13 years old. They're not an adult. And you have a responsibility to talk to the parents. No, you're going to set it up so a child can get picked up and taken across state lines to go get an abortion, a medical procedure, with a stranger without the parents' consent? And you think you're going to get away with that? It's just absolutely horrendous. Let's check out this video.
How old is she? She's 13. Her parents don't know yet.
Yeah, so we don't do them here, but we don't do them in Missouri. It's illegal. But we do have, I can give you a packet of the 2 locations that do it in Kansas. They have people that will come pick them up. They have people that will pay for the whole thing. Yes, I would call them and tell them what the situation is. They're going to help you with that.
All within Planned Parenthood?
Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter if the school agrees or not. We say that she was at the doctor, and we can cut off our letterhead so it doesn't even say where she was. Trust me, this is not our first rodeo.
How many times do you do this a year?
What, like abortion?
Girls coming out of the state, yes.
Oh, every day. Every day. Mm-hmm. Because we set up hotels for them. We set up every day. We never tell our parents anything. She's an adult from our clinics.
Project Veritas recently set out to investigate Planned Parenthood and their actions pertaining to abortions in a post-Roe v. Wade country. Most states have trigger laws that immediately went into effect following the Dobbs decision in the Supreme Court made in June 2022.
Is she wanting that termination? Or she just
I'm trying to look into it, but
yeah, they'll do it because
her parents don't know yet.
Yeah, so we don't do them here, but we don't do them in Missouri. It's illegal. But we do have, I can give you a packet of the 2 locations that do it in Kansas.
That'd be so great.
Okay.
No, thank you.
In this particular interview, the journalist met with LaShawna, who is the managing director at one of a few Planned Parenthood offices in Kansas City, Missouri. While abortion is prohibited by state law in Missouri, this has not stopped Planned Parenthood from providing every necessity for young girls to be transported across state lines for an abortion in Kansas.
Yeah, they've made them illegal in Missouri, but it's 2 places in Kansas. This one is our clinic, and then this one is one that's right next to our clinic, and they both perform them.
Oh, great.
I would call, because if you go online, they kind of give you the runaround, but if you call and let them know what's going on, they'll do whatever they can to help you.
Given that states like Kansas still permit abortion, could this potentially serve as a loophole for adults other than parents to accompany a minor enabling them to seek medical attention and undergo an abortion without parental involvement.
If you're trying to do it without the parents knowing, then you need to call because they need to do a bypass.
They will bypass without the parents. You just have to make sure you tell them that when
What is a bypass?
just not letting the parents know.
Great.
Yeah.
So I can bring her?
Yeah, you just have to, when you call, just tell them the situation. They'll walk you through everything.
Could this lead to the exploitation of the process and increase the risks that minors will be abused?
So if I can't do it, is there a service that can get her across the state line?
Yeah. I would ask. They have people that'll come pick them up. They have people that pay for the whole thing. Yes, I would call them and tell them what the situation is. They're going to help you with that.
All within Planned Parenthood? Mm-hmm. Could we get permission from a teacher to get her out of school during its school day for it?
We could give doctor's excuse.
What's that?
We could give a doctor's note to where the school, it doesn't matter if the school agrees or not. We say that she was at the doctor. They have to take it.
Oh, and the teachers have to take it no matter what. But they don't tell the parents.
No. And we can cut off our letterhead so it doesn't even say where she was. Trust me, this is not our first rodeo. They're going to know exactly how to handle that. I would call them.
Okay, so 13-year-olds can go across state lines.
Absolutely.
Parenthood helps them do that and then pays for the whole thing.
I won't say it pays for the whole thing, but they will work for you. Sometimes they do end up paying for it. Yeah, it's illegal in Missouri.
So you all work.
You know what? You see how matter-of-factly she's talking? Yeah, they could just pick her up and take her across state lines. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Oh, and we don't have to let the parents know. In fact, we'll even cut off the top of our letterhead so they won't even know that she was here. It's unbelievable. And she's so happy about it. Look at her. She's like, oh, yeah. Oh, this isn't the first rodeo. We do this every day. Yeah, every day. We just send kids across over to Kansas because in Missouri you can't have an abortion. So we'll just send them over to Kansas and they'll do it over there. And again, this isn't a pro-life, pro-choice thing. This is like, are you kidding me? Where are the parents' rights issue? That's what this is. Does this 13-year-old girl's mother know? Now, of course, in this situation, it's Project Veritas or James O'Keefe, is going in there with, it's not a real girl, obviously, but this exposes what they're willing to do. And, we got to wonder how many of these girls disappear. Can you imagine being a parent? First of all, you don't know your child's pregnant. Then you don't know they're getting an abortion. Then you don't know that some guy or some person picked them up and drove them to another state to have a medical procedure without your permission. What if something went wrong in that medical procedure? Then what? Well, hopefully they'd be charged. And it looks like Missouri lawmakers are looking at charging Planned Parenthood for this, charging them with crimes, and they should be. Let's jump back in.
We're very tightly with.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's great because when she called me, I looked it up right away and I was like, no.
Yeah, we're all affiliated. We're all one big old clinic, pretty much.
So the money just you're able. Everywhere. How many times do you do this a year?
What, like abortion?
Girls coming out of the state, yes.
Oh, every day.
Every day.
Every day. Mm-hmm. Because we set up hotels for them. We set up every day.
So this is so great because she's 13.
Yeah.
She's so young.
And she's scared, and that's what we're here for.
And her parents do not, they're like so conservative. And I cannot let them know.
And they won't. If in Planned Parenthood, we consider you an adult. You can make the decision, then we've got you.
Okay. And then can she come in here for follow-up?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she doesn't have to go back there for follow-up. Once she's done with them, she can come back here.
And what about contraceptives?
We'll take care of all of that.
All without any consent?
Yeah, we never tell her parents anything. She's an adult in our clinic.
As the investigation unfolds, these questions remain. Are lawmakers aware that Planned Parenthood has successfully, in their own words, created a bypass for young minors to acquire an abortion in another state without parental consent? Are schools and teachers cognizant of the fact that Planned Parenthood could be taking students out of school under deceitful pretenses to facilitate abortions without their parents' knowledge? And if Planned Parenthood is doing this, quote, every day in just one state, how many teenage girls across this nation have been transported across state lines to have their pregnancies terminated with the consent of adults whom they are not even related to? Stay tuned for part 2 to see what is happening in a nearby conservative state that has recently been attacked by the media for its politicians' stance for pro-life laws. The pursuit of clarity and justice continues.
Well, aren't we happy to know that 13-year-olds are adults now? And if this is happening in one clinic, now think about it. Now some people will jump into the whole, well, if they had overturned Roe v. Wade, then this would have never have happened. Come on, it's bigger than that. This is absolutely bigger than that. This is about a group of people, an organization, nationally known, that says parents don't matter. Parent, you don't matter. We will decide for your child if they get an abortion. We'll encourage them to. We'll encourage them to go across state lines to a clinic that can do it with a stranger. And parents, you don't even know. Ha, ha, ha. The parents don't even know because your child is an adult in our clinic. Unbelievable. Tracy says, not surprised. Have seen so many videos of these people doing stuff like this, and they always talk about it matter of factly, just turns your stomach. Yeah, they're totally convinced that what they're doing is fine. Like I said, put aside the pro-life, pro-choice argument for a minute. And they're just talking about, yeah, no problem. We can send your child across state lines. Yeah, no big deal. Medical procedure without the parents' permission? No problem. And let's think about something. If your child, parents, you know this. If you have a child that gets injured, right, or they get sick, and they go to the hospital, and the doctors need to perform some kind of a surgery or some kind of an avenue to help that child out, what's the first thing they do? They look for the parent or family member, someone that can sign to say it's okay to do what they're going to do. Because except in extreme emergencies where they cannot reach anybody and it's to save the life of the child, except for those situations, they need to get parental consent to do an operation on a child, to do a medical procedure. But Planned Parenthood, no problem. Nope, don't need parental consent here. We'll just keep it a big old secret. We'll send your kid over to Kansas, 50, 100 miles away to a clinic with a stranger to have a medical procedure done. We'll just keep it a big old secret because your child's an adult when it comes to our clinics. This is absolutely sick and horrendous. And it robs the parents from any power and control that they should have over their own child. They just think they can take it away from the parents. Tracy said they call a parent for permission. Yes. Anytime there is a medical procedure, you got to get parents' permission to do the medical procedure, unless it's an emergency, like I said. But no, not when it comes to Planned Parenthood. No, don't need parents' permission. Child's an adult. Come on, honey, we're going to have somebody come pick you up. Oh, and we're going to pay for hotels. Listen, we're going to have you stay. Remember she said that. We pay for hotels and everything. Yeah. So we're going to have your child stay in a hotel with a complete stranger. Could be a guy, could be a girl. Who knows? In another state. And then take them to get this medical procedure done. And we'll return them at some point. And mom and dad, you don't even have to know anything. Because we'll take care of it. Yes, Tracy made a great point. My God, that is what's a great point. She said they can go buy an Uber. Yeah. Any of you guys are watching and you didn't see that, the podcast about Uber, go back on our website or on our YouTube or Facebook, wherever. Watch that show where Uber is allowing 13-year-olds to get rides now. And we walked through the setup process with you right here on the show, and they didn't ask for my ID, nothing. It was just like, create a child account. Here's the child's name. It sends an email to that child or a text to the phone. The child says, okay. And the next thing you know, I can send an Uber to go pick up a child and have it take them wherever I want it to go without the parents even knowing. Wow, parents have to be so involved today, more than they've ever been before. Because whether you got a straight A student or a failing student, whether you got a black student or a white student, whether you got a male student or a female student, predators don't care about preferences, man. They care about opportunity and weakness, and they count on parents not raising their kids in a responsible way. They count on parents not being nosy and not paying attention and allowing their kids to have all this freedom in the world. That's what predators like. Marie said you have to get a parent's permission to give a child an aspirin at school. Great point. Great point. But no, they can go have an abortion across state lines, stay in a hotel with a complete stranger, and parents don't have to know? See, I'm guessing that this goes on a lot more than what we've seen. Unbelievable. I'm going to look up something here. So, yeah, we know there's bills to defund Planned Parenthood. We see that. Missouri lawmakers, after viewing Project Veritas, James O'Keefe video, are considering criminal charges against Planned Parenthood. Well, it's about freaking time. Because subverting parents' permission and parents' will is one thing that's wrong. Taking a child across state lines out of state without telling the parent, that's another thing. Doing a medical procedure on them without the parent knowing, that's another issue. It looks like to me there's so many laws being broken here. How are they even getting away with it? And thank God for people like James O'Keefe and his old company, Project Veritas, which is still doing some good work. And they're exposing this stuff. I mean, how else would we have known this was happening if it wasn't for them? Thank God for independent media. That's what I'm saying. When it comes to the area of protecting children, we're very thankful for independent media because they're exposing stuff like this. Tracy said was watching Fox News and they were blasting social media, but they never talked about parents doing anything. Yeah. And like I said, next week we plan to, God willing, we're going to bring you the Senate hearing. We're going to have to, chop it up. But the CEOs of the social media companies were hauled in front of the Senate today, and they were grilled pretty hard from a lot of people on both sides of the aisle, actually, about the child abuse that's going on and the grooming that's going on and the peer pressure and everything else that's happening on these social media apps. And from what we heard, there was a lot of talk of technology fixes. Oh, we're putting this in place. We're putting that in place. X has got a buddy system type of thing where if it detects that there's something that might be grooming or threatening, it'll pop up and give the child an opportunity to communicate with somebody. Listen, that's great. But nothing replaces the parent keeping their eyes open, looking at what's going on. Who are the kids talking to? Who are they following? Who's following them? Who's commenting on their videos? Who's trying to get your kid to go out and meet with them? That's basic stuff. You can spend $10 a month. We talk about it all the time. Guardian. It's a parental control app. I believe it's Android and iPhone. It's $10 a month or $11 a month. And you can monitor GPS location. You can monitor social media. You can set up keywords that'll flag if it gets mentioned. You can see who's messaging your children, who they're messaging. It's a great resource. It's $11 a month. We're not a sponsor for them, but we highly recommend them. Small steps, small price to pay for keeping your kids safe. Yeah, Marie said Instagram is sending links to Telegram. Yeah. Look, it's a network. As we said last week about NAMBLA, this is a network of pedos, a network of them. They're spread out all over the place, millions of them. You got to think about it. I mean, for the chance for how many times it comes up just in the reels that come up on our Protect Children page, like there's millions of these people out there. And they're just waiting. They're fishing and they're waiting for a bite. And as soon as one of these kids bite, they're going to reel them in. Could end up like that poor girl that we saw earlier. Oh, I thought he was a nice guy. Oh, I thought it was a nice girl. Thought she liked me. Thought I had all these followers. And parents, if your kids are looking for attention and they're looking to fill some attention void from social media, why don't you take a look at home? Something's going on there. And parents, we love you. We know your job is hard. We know your job is hard. But we got to say what needs to be said here. And there's a lot of situations, abuse situations, kidnapping situations, that could have been prevented if parents had known what was going on. But they didn't. Well, now's your time to get in the know, to be nosy, take responsibility, and keep an eye on your children. That's how we make a difference. All right, that's it for this week. We ask again that you would share this. The podcast is available 15 minutes after the show ends. Please like, share. We thank you that this past week, we had probably a total of 30 shares this past week, which is up from about 10. So we're thankful that more people are sharing the content, and that's resulting in more followers, more subscribers, and more people seeing the education and awareness, which results in more kids being safe and more parents being educated. So please continue to share, continue to like, do your part. We're going to do our part. Please do your part as well. We thank you for that. And like I said, next week, God willing, we'll break down the whole Senate hearing. And I'll tell you what some of these CEOs are saying. The one thing they didn't say is how important it is to have parental responsibility. They didn't go there. They think technology is going to be the fix. A global ID will be the fix. Parents, it's your job to be the fix. All right, until next week, this is Chris with Protect Your Children Incorporated. Visit the website, protectyourchildren.org, protectyourchildren.org. Get educated, share the information. Thank you so much for being here. And until next week, keep protecting, stay nosy, be nosy, and keep protecting your kids.